I just didn't feel the spark. Now, in the world of matchmaking, when I talk to my clients after the date, that's the number one reason why they say no to a second date. Now, as much as I believe that our constant obsession with chemistry, like instant chemistry, and the spark shouldn't be the only focal point when dating and trying to create the relationship that we want, I know that what gets people to the next date is hot, passionate chemistry, not nice connection. What's up, everybody? I'm Kita, and I am your queer dating coach and matchmaker, and I'm going to tell you today ways to create chemistry. Yes, chemistry can be created. There are things that you can actually do on a date to create that chemistry and that attraction with the other person. Now, I think using these tools to create chemistry is the way to go because we view attraction and the spark as like some fake thing and something that we have no control over, and we rely so much on just how our body feels instead of realizing there are things that we can do. There's ways that we can interact with people to actually create some chemistry when we are on the date, instead of just leaving it up to chance and like it's not in any of our control. So let's get started. Tip number 1, touch. Now, obviously on a date, you can't just touch some person wherever you want to, right? There definitely has to be some level of respect and consent, right? But doing things like when you're on your way to the bathroom, right? Touching their shoulder or their back. Or if they say something really funny and you're sitting next to them, or they tease you or something, giving them a little shove like as you laugh, or touching their hand or arm like as you laugh, or even if you're giving them the menu, like grazing their hand. There are some things that you can do with touch that lets them know that you really are romantically interested. Number 2, pace. Now, I know that when you go on a date, a lot of us are really jittery because we're nervous and we want to make a good impression. But slowing your speech down, making that slow eye contact can create this type of tension, right? Good tension on a date. Now you think about it, you talk to somebody and they're talking really fast and they're explaining what they're doing and all of that. Their jitteriness does not look confident. Slowing down can be seductive. So, for example, those moments where they're talking, they're answering a question or something, and you're drinking your drink. You can look down at your drink, right? And then gaze up and get them like that slow eye contact. But speaking with passion, pausing, and not rushing is very sexy because you just look confident and like you want to take your time to really explain to them, right, who you are, what's going on over here with you in your life, right? But slowing your pace down and adding those pauses with the gaze and the look in the eye will absolutely create that attraction. Tip number 3, charged compliments. Now, you've been on a date, people have given you compliments, you've given other people compliments. But there are compliments that you can give that will put you in the friend zone, and there are compliments that you can give that will let that person know you don't want to just be their friend. You want to use charged language or a tone that expresses your desire to be romantically involved with him. So, for example, someone shows up, you can say, "Oh, you look nice." You say nice and pretty and all that to your friends and your family member. But you can also say, "You look sexy in that dress," or, "Oh, you look hot in that shirt." That's charged language. One says, "We're gonna be friends." The other one says, "We're not gonna be friends," right? So you can even take the same line of like, you look nice, but add a different tone to it. Like, you look really nice. And that, right? And so, and making the eye contact. So you want to pay attention to, yes, not just giving compliments, but like making sure it's charged and there's some type of desired tone that goes along with that compliment. Number 4, observation. Now, Matthew Hussey, I love him, so I reference him a lot, says it's good to give your date a moment to simply observe you. So let's go back to the touch. Like if you're getting up and you're going to the bathroom, and I always recommend my dates and my clients to sit to where they actually have to walk past their date to go to the restroom. So when you kind of graze their shoulder or their back, that kind of directs them to your attention, right? So as you're walking away, they can actually observe you. They can see you from a different angle. People need those moments to just take you in. And a lot of times we're nervous, or we're rushing through everything, that we're not giving other people the opportunity to just take us in, to see a different side of us. So when you're on your next date, don't forget, give yourself time to be observed and look for moments to simply observe your date. Number 5, teasing. Now, playful teasing, you have to be careful, but playful teasing is flirting. So it can be as simple as if there's darts or pool around, you could be like, we can't play darts on our first date because I don't want to have to kick your butt. Playful teasing creates this tension, this friction, that is not a bad friction, right? It creates this chemistry that you can use later on the date. And number 6, the post-date text. Now, you can send a text, like, remember, charged language. You can send a text that says, oh, I had a good time tonight. Well, that's fine. Again, friendly. I had a good time. But what you want to do with this text is like leave this subtle message underneath. Keep it short and sweet. Maybe throw in an emoji, because the emojis can say a lot, or some GIF of some sort. So you can just say, I had a great time tonight, or I had fun tonight, ... And do a little blushing emoji face, right? Because that lets them know that you wanted to say something else, you wanted to talk a little bit more about it. And the blushing emoji basically says like you had a really great time and you didn't have to say too much, right? And it's a different type of like charged language, like having a good time and then having fun on the date with somebody. That's like on 2 different levels. One says you want to be friends. The other one says like, hey, I really want to get to know you on a deeper level. It's important that we use these tips and these checkpoints when you're on dates, right? Because what happens is when people show us that they are attracted to us, we tend to be more attracted to them. And that's because when you are thinking about the date or thinking about the other person, what you're doing is you're comparing them to other people in your past, even though you don't want to, right? You're comparing them. And if the energy is not as charged as it was before over here, right, then you're automatically going into the friend zone unless they're expressing that they're attracted to you. When they express that, then there's something that happens that kind of redirects your brain and kind of considers in some way, shape, or form if you are attracted to this person versus just wanting to be a friend. And using these tips, like I said before, also shows you that it's not just up for fate, right? It shows that you have the capacity to create this attraction, which, let me let you in on a secret, you are going to need when you get into a relationship. When you get into a relationship, there's so many times where the spark goes out, right? You have to relight the candle. How do you keep the candle burning? Well, understanding how to create this chemistry in the beginning will also help you understand how to create it and be more comfortable with creating it when you get into a relationship and you need to relight the flame. Now look, this may not be as easy to do for everyone, which is why I have created my conscious dating program. In this program, we go over these tips and so much more. We do mock dates so I can read your energy and your body language to see what you're giving off on dates. I help you out. I'll go out with you. Like, we'll practice. We're doing this in person, and I'm right there with you side by side to help you do these things in person instead of just giving you a bunch of insights, instead of just giving you a bunch of things to do. I want to be able to teach you how to do these things in action and how to do them effectively. So chemistry and attraction will no longer be just left up to fate. You'll have some say-so. And that's what we want. Because what I want is your next dating experience to be your last. I love you all. If you want more information about the Conscious Dating Program, please click on the link below, and or you can email me your questions that you have. I love you all. Peace.